Comfort level. If we had a 2x12 here on the ground, this is about 12 inches across, and it was 30 feet long, and I had $1,000 bills at that end, and I had you all line up at this end. Everybody in this room, probably, with one exception, we'll figure out a different one for you, could walk up and down the board and pick up $1,000 bills, don't you think? Now, if I put that 2x12 10 stories up between two buildings, there may be a couple of you that would crawl across on your hands and knees, you know, slither on your belly. But it would eliminate most of you. Is that correct? You're not comfortable 10 stories up. If I put it 50 stories up, nobody'd be there. Now, I walk 50 stories up. A lot of people in this audience walk in the basement because they're afraid that the wind's, in the room might blow them off the board. Ross Perot and guys like that walk 100 stories up. Or no, if I put your child, for those of you that have children, across that, 10 stories up, and I poured them all over with gasoline, and I had a match, some of the parents, especially the mothers probably, okay, would get across there somehow. Now, if I put your significant other over there and put gasoline, I mean, light it! I mean, okay? Yeah. And so, but it's a comfort level. And Jim Newman, who is one of my mentors, and we're going to talk about mentors later on, who developed the PACE organization, Personal and Company Effectiveness, and I would recommend, that's one seminar that everybody ought to go to, because Jim Newman, who's been at this, Dennis Waitley is a protege of Jim Newman. A lot of people are. His stable of successful people is very large, but he's semi-retired. He doesn't do seminars very often anymore. But he developed the comfort level concept. It's how we feel comfortable with ourselves and how we feel comfortable in business situations. It's like I told a story about when Don Taylor and I went to dinner the other night. I always get the bill. Don arranged for them to give him the bill. They still brought me the bill because I look like somebody that ought to get the damn bill. If you don't think that I look different than the other people that were at that thing yesterday, something's wrong with you. You need glasses. When I walk into a room, I take charge, whether there's 50 or 5,000, because I feel comfortable with myself and because I've practiced. I practiced this years before I started doing it. Comfort and being comfortable with the trappings of success. Some people in this room aren't successful or as successful as they could be because they're not comfortable with what comes with success. A lot of responsibilities. John D. Rockefeller, the old man, said, a lot of responsibilities with being one of the richest men in the world. There are. Not all of them are good. The trappings of super success are heavy. That's why there's not many of us up there. The air is thin. That's why they call us blue bloods. It's not for everybody. If it were true, if it were not true that what is to be will be, if I hadn't lost my money, if that's the fact, I know that there's life after death because I've been financially dead 5 times and have risen like the phoenix. I still got ashes on my wings. 5 times. I know there's life after death. I've seen that white tunnel. And my white tunnel's got big dollar signs at the end of it. I'm $50 million poor. That's not true. I'm about $40 million poor. I made a faux pas yesterday. I'm about $40 million poor today than I was 3 years ago. And I still am more successful. You can put them all in a room, lifetime earnings. All the guys and all the tapes you've bought. Just think about that money you've spent. Just think about it. It's tragic. If I didn't have a past, and I've got a big one, you're going to find out about it. If I only had a business of my own, if other people would only listen to me. Now, and this is the greatest of them all, if I had the courage to see myself as I really am, I would find out what is wrong with me and correct it. Then I might have a chance to profit by my mistakes and learn something from the experience of others. For I know that there is something wrong with me, or I would now be where I would have been if I had spent more time analyzing weaknesses and less time building alibis to cover them. All of the above are fatal to success.